And we are live. Thank you for joining us again, folks, tonight or this evening or wherever you are in the world, because I think we might have one from Australia here in the chat, or at least watching. So it's like 5 in the morning there. It's like 5:04 in the morning. If it's a person
What
I
are
think
you
it is.
doing awake?
Some people got to work. Some people got to work day jobs, like to put this on right before they go in.
Well, I get that. I get up at 5:30 every day. Well, not every day, except for Wednesday and Thursday to go to my job.
Yeah, so there you go. So you know the routine. You know the routine. And also, if anybody's in Europe, it's already 4 or 5 hours ahead in time, so it's already nightfall.
You're in the future.
They're in the future. We're in the past. But joining me again from last week. Hopefully, this week will not be as insane as it was last week. Man, Slack Power on Twitter.
We're going off the rails.
Well, I don't know if we got. There's no more rails left. Everything's been obliterated. Harambe, New Jack Hitler.
Nope.
Paul Walker, Anton Yelchin.
And Pandora's box is opened again.
I can't help myself. I just can't help myself. Insanity is infectious. But tonight or today or right now, we talking about something that just happened recently. New Comic Book Day. And two big releases. Two big releases happened yesterday.
I want to say one was a positive release and one was I don't know.
Well, are you good news first or a bad news first kind of person?
Let's do the good news first.
All right. So you read it, and I read it. I didn't tell anybody I read it because I was like, I was going to keep this under my hat.
There we go.
Twitter just can't. So, Amazing Spider-Man, Nick Spencer, Ryan Otley. For $6. Now that was tough. That was a pain in the pocket, right? $6.
That's kind of steep. I agree.
For especially a first issue, you want to get you want to make as many sales as possible. They're just pricing themselves out of the kids and casual people. Like, you have to be hardcore to buy that. And I guess
I feel like you're walking in. That's 2 books you would have bought, but you just bought one.
Oh, or 4 from Alterna Comics because it's dark.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And was it worth my $6? To be blunt, I'd say yes. I say it was worth the $6 I spent on it. The fact that the story didn't just end, there was a backup, which actually led into the second issue.
Yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that because I felt like it was over reading that part.
Yeah, and same here. It was like
an intermission.
It was intermission, and it felt like a 1.5. It didn't feel like a full second issue. It didn't feel like the part of the first issue. It felt like a 1.5, like right there in the middle.
Right.
But the main story, the kind of ramifications it's basically all the chickens that are coming home to roost from the slot run. The whole Doc Ock was, consciousness was in Peter Parker's body, and when he ran the company,
backfired, didn't it?
Yeah, it's like, and this book is like, this is why I'm not a real Spider-Man. I'm not a Spider-Man fan. Like, I like Spider-Man 2099, but and Spider-Girl more, and Spider-Woman more than I like Peter Parker Spider-Man, because this was just like, I feel guilty about certain things. I think you do as well. You're you're human, and just like anybody else, we have limits. Somebody beats that drum of guilt, guilt, guilt too many times. You take that drum, you break it. Screw you! I don't feel guilty no more.
Eventually, that's got to stop. Yeah,
that's the problem with Peter Parker Spider-Man. The guilt, guilt, guilt. Oh, you let your Uncle Ben die by not acting, and all that.
Well, I don't feel like it's something he needs to hold over himself, but it's something that keeps him focused on the task, the task at hand.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I liked about the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2. Like Uncle Ben's like, take my hand, son. It's like, nah, Uncle Ben, not anymore. He just like walks away. It's like, that's the, and then you get the raindrops keep falling, that stuff, whatever.
Maybe the greatest scene in American cinema.
I don't know. No, the dancing from Spider-Man 3. Now that's the.
That blows you away, dude. You don't recover after watching something like that.
Thank God you can't share GIFs and videos of that right now. You'd be haunting me with it.
Oh, man.
I dare. I'm fearful to check Twitter.
You poked the bear that day, dude.
I
had those ready to go.
like that was weaponized gifts right there. Kurt Eichelhall, where are you when we need you? No. The FBI. Get the FBI. That's terrorist threats with Spider-Man 3. But having that guilt and the plot is, Peter, the ramifications from the Doc Ock and Peter's body and all that. So this tech, which is like, to prevent plagiarism at school using Cerebro tech and a bunch of other stuff. I'm like, that's like 1984 level stuff, pal. Come on.
And what it was called too was actually pretty interesting as well.
Watcher, yeah. And the idea of going through and the paper they choose is one that was written by Doc Ock when he was in Peter's body, taking over his consciousness. That right there, I felt, because it's like, he needs adoration, from people. And I would have been just like, screw you guys, it wasn't me. This is rigged. This is rigged. This is, because it's like, who's tested that thing before? They're just going to test it out in some, let's test out Peter Parker. It's like,
Peter Parker, punishment. He likes it.
Exactly. Peter Parker has to be Catholic. I mean, as much abuse as he gets. Either that or Jewish. The guilt, the punishment, there you go. But the fact that it's just like, and then he gets fired, and he's got his roommate's the Boomerang, and I'm like, oh my God, the guy's got, his life sucks. Whoa, everything okay?
No, yeah, it sounded like they're doing road work outside my house. So
it sounded like a car's like skidding tires. Like, what in the world?
They're tearing up the fucking road out there, and I can't leave the window open, so that kind of sucks. I'm trying to save you, internet, from having to hear that.
Well, I look at it this way. We are, in a time and place where everybody's so like hooked in. They're ratting themselves out to wherever they are at any given time. And in doing so, we're basically just reporting ourselves as like, who needs Big Brother when you're doing stuff? But this whole idea of going through the plagiarism, and he loses his job and his life sucks, and all the heroes looking at him like, you're the worst thing ever. And it's just like, God almighty, can Peter Parker ever catch a break? I don't know did you feel the same way, or?
When it was rolling through that, I felt like it was demolishing a lot of the things that had been set up over the last couple of years, through the couple arcs. But I mean, I feel like, in my opinion, Spider-Man goes through these trials. I feel like that's a part of his character. He has it harder than most. And I feel like, there's a balance there, but I feel like it works when done correctly. And I will say, I felt like it was a lot happening all at once. I was like, man, all this bad shit is happening one after another.
Yeah, it was like everything when it rains, it pours. Like, dear sweet Jesus. Aunt May's like,
but that's the Parker luck, though, man.
it is like that right there is like, I couldn't be Spider-Man, because if I had them powers and everything, you know what? I'm gonna go over, like, I'm gonna swing out to New Jersey someplace, because you can swing on power lines and stuff like that. Like, that's one thing, swing on power lines, trees. As long as you got enough height, you can just do that, like where you web
just
shoot,
swinging through the gutters. It'd be all right, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you take care of it, and go out to some like podunk New Jersey town and rob an ATM.
Damn it, Larry! No,
punch ATM open and take some money. It's like, but dress in something else, like dress in have a villain costume or like a Halloween store costume.
You're wearing the Fantastic Four uniform with the bag on your head. That's what you're wearing. You're wearing that one.
Bagman, yes, it was Amazing Bagman or whatever. The Fantastic Bagman. But yeah, just go and do that. Like, just like, you know what? I give and give and give, and the world just takes and takes and takes from me. Now it's my turn to take. So and then maybe he does that, feels guilty down the line. He ends up, like donating. He comes across some money and just donates to people that need it. Like, just like he pulls like a Reindeer Games and just puts money in people's like windowsill or something. Like, how cool would that be? Like, people open up their windows at Christmas and there's Santa Spidey. There you go. We just put like a stack of cash on the windowsill. But I would like to see that. Overall, the story, I was actually really impressed, because this is actually the best. Because I've read a lot of Nick Spencer's work. His creator-owned stuff, Thunder Agency he did. Over the course of the past 7-8 years or whatever, nothing ever really thrilled me. This was actually really good. I think this is the best thing he's ever written.
I liked the whole, Hydra Cap story. I felt like it had a lot of potential. I don't feel like it was good follow through on some of that stuff, but I was really impressed. I think I read something yesterday said that he had read, I guess, most of Spider-Man before he actually, went to work on the story. So you can definitely tell he knew what to hit.
Yeah, he didn't, and he didn't feel like he was just coming into it blind. But we'll get to that on another. Unlike somebody else we're going to talk about.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but I think the secret's out. Like if you haven't read it, okay, tough. Like maybe skip about 30 seconds to maybe 5 minutes or so. But
I'm going to wait 30 seconds. No, I'm going to meet you at the end of 30 seconds and tell you.
Okay. you're just gonna ruin their day. It's like throwing a lit cigarette at them. That Peter and Mary Jane left are getting back together. Like
boom.
And that's what people want. Don't bat and switch us. Don't. Hey, they're gonna get back together, and then of course they don't, because that would mean people getting together today equals happiness. No, it doesn't. Not all the time. There's happiness, but there's also a lot of drama and a lot of heartache, because that's how relationships go. And anybody that's been in a relationship in a real world, not online, not catfishing themselves or something, there's usually drama, there's usually heartache, and there's pain and suffering at times.
And that's how it's been for Peter in his relationship.
Yeah, exactly. It's like throw him a bone, for the love of God. Like this is it. It's like people, the way they treat Spider-Man is treating him like it's a Sims. Like they're closing off all the house has no doors, no toilets, and fire hazards everywhere. That's the life of Peter Parker Spider-Man. It's a Sims if you're a dick, So
Hell House,
exactly. But like, what was your favorite moment about Amazing Spider-Man 1?
I will say that right there was my favorite moment. That whole, whenever he went to see MJ and he was, talking to her before they actually revealed who it was, I was just like, damn, this is really happening,
Makes you want to believe, right?
I was waiting for the bait and switch, to be honest.
That'll come in issue 2. No, hope not.
I thought it was gonna happen, right when they panned out for that next page. I figured she was gonna be like, I don't think so.
Well, they did that previously. I actually was reading some of the before issue 700 of Amazing Spider-Man. I was reading some of that, and they were kind of leading up to like, they might get back together, and then no, of course not. They kind of
I saw that. I think that was from a year or two ago. I can't remember when that happened.
They did it just a couple months back. Again, they did it again.
It's kind of like her working for Iron Man. In my opinion, I just don't feel like that works.
No, the idea of Mary Jane, not Long Island. Well, it's Queens. So, but a girl from Queens, not the brightest tool in the shed. Peter Parker's girlfriend, model, actress, all that, working for Tony Stark.
How does that happen?
It doesn't compute. No, I understand. She's like public relations or something. She was like the face of Stark Industries. Like they had her like in like a Stark bikini plastered over some like race, like some race or whatever. And Peter's just like, like I don't like this. MJ's, well, I've done this stuff before. Yeah, but that was not for Tony Stark, Iron Man.
Yeah.
And it's like Tony Stark's just like, because it's like, hey, he's just like testing the limits like a shark, kind of thing. Because the shark is circling around Mary Jane, like that's that right Tony. There. That works. That's Tony Stark. But like I like the same thing you did. I like the fact that they're the hinting of them getting back together. That they are, maybe if they do renew the marriage or whatever, hey, that'd be fine down the line. Whatever they decide to do, just don't pull a Batman Catwoman. Don't pull that. I think it'll be okay.
I feel like for Batman, I saw they were having a big conversation about, that sometimes it works with certain characters and sometimes it doesn't. And I feel like, Batman and Catwoman, I feel like these are characters I feel like it doesn't work in that situation. I feel like it's better the way it is right now, because of the character that Batman is.
Well, if you
So
did
like,
get married, I think they could have gotten married, but of course, like like I could see Batman. Batman should have been married like 15 times by now, like multiple ex-wives. Like, at one point, maybe married Diana. He's married. He's married to Wonder Woman or something. I don't
or
know.
just been married, in order to keep selling the Bruce Wayne, personality to everyone.
Yeah, it's like Bruce Wayne was
People
a very,
easily would, believe that he had, multiple girlfriends. I wouldn't find it hard to believe that he had multiple wives.
yeah, that right there. Like maybe going overseas, like Switzerland or something. Getting hooked up, married over a weekend, and then come back, and then getting divorced like right away. So it's like, oh, a fling with Bruce Wayne. But I like the idea that Peter's he's the kind of the everyman to a degree, but an everyman being hit that hard so quickly was a little jarring. But I liked it. I actually the little because I read it on Comixology, little rating system. I gave it a 5-star, so that's how I felt. It was a 5-star affair. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to be when the character's been driven into the ground for the past like decade plus.
Batman's a character built on misery.
Well, yeah, it's like I'm happy. I'm happy that Spider-Man's actually feels like Spider-Man again, even if I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, and
not every character should be treated like Batman. Yes,
no,
I agree.
No, they should not be. They should not. And the idea of treating Spider-Man in that regard, or even like where he feels like a real person. The dialogue was actually really well done. I will admit, like that was not Otley's best artwork.
I would say, I mean, it's his first time working on this book. He's been doing.
But Adam Eve, the character from Invincible, very much can be like a, Mary Jane kind of thing. Some of that, like that Mary Jane expression when, like, she sees where she's at on the Empire State Building. That was kind of a scary face. I was like, ugh.
that was a scary face. What am I doing up here?
Well, because it's like
why are you wearing that suit?
Shocked, but it was kind of scarily drawn, and like, that doesn't look like a Mary Jane. It doesn't look hot, like Mary Jane being scared. The Craven's knife on the cover was a little. It's like he's got like a Swiss Army knife. The little tiny blade on the cover. It's just like, oh, come on, like you call that a knife? No, this is a knife.
This is the knife.
But because that was the ultimate Craven because he was Australian, and this main continuity Craven is Russian. So Sergei Kravenov. But yeah, in the backup, the 1.5 thing with the whole Mysterio trial, and I think is that a Carrion? That looked like Carrion to me. Yeah, Carrion.
I felt like it was a character I've seen before. I couldn't place it, but I mean, I wasn't under I guess I must have missed when Mysterio went to hell and got dragged back up.
I guess so too. I have no clue.
That's an interesting twist.
The fact that this cabal of people, and then Kingpin's plan. Kingpin's basically pulling Daredevil. What's the one with David Mazzucchelli? Shit. Oh, damn it. It's that story arc, the classic one.
That could be anything, Larry. You mean the one with the armor, that badass armor that everyone hates?
Oh God, no!
That's
not
some
with
sweet fucking armor right there. No,
Born Again, Daredevil.
That's
Born
a good
Again.
Story. Yeah,
that's what. Because when Kingpin comes after you, he doesn't just come after you just to hurt you physically. He's like Khan from Wrath of Khan. I've done far worse than kill you. I've hurt you, and that's what that's what Kingpin does. And
he's trying to do that to Peter.
Yeah, and it's. I don't know if like maybe the whole Watcher system is a part of Kingpin's plan. But if it's not, I'm like, dear God, he's like, how much lower can you go? I see a possible heel turn for Spidey a couple issues down the line. Like,
heel turn.
Going. Maybe going a little bit more violent. Like
maybe the black suit's coming back. The real black suit. And I don't mean how they made the black suit look whenever he wore the symbiote not too long ago when he was fighting the Green Goblin Carnage thing.
But just go like straight, like standard black suit Spider-Man kind of thing, like actual cloth, not like symbiote.
Yeah, like the classic costume, the way that one looked.
Yeah, I'd be okay with
too much for the redesign.
Yeah, like the one that's in it, like the one that's in
Not
the
to take
Spider
away from
issue.
that guy's art, but I just didn't like how I guess the lenses stuck out of the mask. I don't
Oh,
know.
they bubbled out.
I just wasn't liking that.
Well, I like the idea of that look of the way Otley drew the black suit Spider-Man costume at the beginning of the issue.
That look, yeah, and that's the classic look I'm definitely talking about right there.
That right there. That if they go down
Spidey
that
should
route,
adopt a different costume every day look. I think that'd be great.
well, maybe not that
You save
that
more costumes that way.
the iron armor crap.
No, we don't. We definitely don't need that. Yeah.
With the extra legs and stuff. Oh god, that was the
Oh
worst thing ever.
yeah. You liked it, didn't you?
No, it was the worst thing ever. I actually kind of like the silver armor, the plated one from the 90s or the 80s. You know the one I'm
That
talking
was the
about?
one where he was fighting Kingpin's son. What was his name?
I
He
don't
wore like
know.
a purple mask. What was his name?
Well, Prowler, but
He had like a rose. Man.
damn, dude, you remember more than I did.
Well, no,
But
I had that issue where he had the
oh, okay.
armor. I had the variant, I guess. But man, I can't remember
But yeah,
his
the air
fucking name.
I would like to see the classic Spider-Man costume come back with the webbing under the arms because I think that would actually help. Like I always like the idea when like he's jumping in the air doing that kind of the Spider-Man thing with his arms up in the air a bit, kind of like bent, arms bent, and the webbing like it would help him glide downward.
It
You
makes
know?
sense. I apologize for this noise that
Oh no, I don't hear the noise on your end. I
someone's
really,
weed eating outside, man, and
dude, it ain't. I can't really hear anything. So don't worry about it.
I don't want y'all to think something terrible's happening.
Yeah, I know you're killing somebody. You're grinding them
No,
up.
no,
You're
no,
turning them
no,
into hamburger. We know this to be the truth. Uh, but
no, no.
if you had a grade on a like 1 to 5 scale for Amazing Spider-Man 1, what would you give it, man?
5.
5. There you go. 2 5s.
I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was great. I'm even left wondering how how the next issue is going to go, especially with the way it ended after the second part.
The which I was like, wait, they're doing that, all right? Because if the cover to the second issue kind of tells you what's going to happen.
When they showed the words, how they were drawn, I was like, hey, maybe it's going to be Beast. Beast is going to show up and turn out that he works at the college. But then I was pleasantly surprised when it wasn't Beast.
Yeah, because I'm also glad that the fact they didn't do the whole, oh wow, he's going to it. The cover of the second issue, gives you a hint. Kurt Connors, the Lizard, he's going to be doing like Peter Parker is going back to school, like like summer school or back to school, the movies from the '80s. He's going back, and his teacher is Kurt Connors down in the basement or whatever as the Lizard teaching him. And it's just
that's what I'm saying. Everybody looked pretty calm sitting in that classroom.
Yeah, it's like maybe they're scared.
Lizard.
Maybe they're scared shitless. They're like,
Me personally, I would have already passed out.
well,
out.
I'd probably just ran. I see that and like, do I look around
That's
for a
probably
weapon?
the worst idea.
You know,
Tail, Lizard. I think he's going to get you first, man.
yeah, he probably would. Though the tails last really prehensile.
Best thing you do is just pass out.
Pass out, play dead.
Pass out right there.
Play dead.
Or not move. Maybe this is a T-Rex thing. I don't know.
It moves on sight. Oh god, but yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Second issue, but $4 an issue or whatever.
I'm not super excited about the price, but I feel like they gave us a lot in this issue. There was a lot going on. I feel like a lot of different, plot elements that are going to be explored over the next however long this goes. So I don't feel like we lost out. I felt like we got a lot of content. I felt good about it.
Well, hopefully the second issue will have about the same amount of content, or make you feel like it's worth your money. But speaking of worth money, the next one up, Superman #1 by Brian Michael Bendis and Ivan Reyes, $4, $3.99 for that. Didn't even feel like it was worth $2. To say I hate this, it would imply a lot of passion, and I could conjure passion, but it's like knowing what was going to happen, then just hoping it, in the hope of hopes that I'm wrong, that there'll be something in there, like they'll redeem the whole thing. There wasn't. There was not a single damn thing in that book to redeem it. There are these little cutaway segments where John Jones is totally out of character. Martian Manhunter is trying to tell Superman, you have the super privilege. You need to use your super privilege for good. We're part of a galactic community, and you can make man go to the stars. I'm like, Superman could just, hey, spacemen, astronauts, get in a shuttle. Me and these other people that can fly and lift things, we'll just lift you into space. Then we'll help you build a space elevator. We can help you. They could. In the DC universe, the Earth could already been. We got colonies on Venus and Neptune and Io and all this and that. But the reason they don't is because that would make it too sci-fi. Like New Gotham, it's on Io and it's crime ridden, and like that it would make it too sci-fi. But that's the problem with all these powered heroes in a shared universe, because it just makes everything moot. And like when you start thinking about it, it makes it so stupid. But to see these like little cutaway sequences, like where, oh, hold on a second, Superman's got to save something. Did the sequence, and this is maybe just me, and I'm picking this out of random because it's still in my head. The sequence where there's a space shuttle and there's I'm like, why'd Superman punch that astronaut into the moon? And looked upon closer examination, apparently it's an ape or a gorilla in an astronaut suit.
Yes, I saw that too. I didn't know who that was.
No explanation.
I don't think it was Grodd, because they showed Grodd down in that underwater base still.
Makes no sense. It's like so.
I don't know who that was, unless it was who's the other monkey character?
I ain't Detective Chimp. Detective Chimp's a good guy. But other than Grodd, it's there's Grodd and there is Monsieur Mala from the Doom Patrol.
I might be thinking of one of those. I'm thinking of one with the brain, the computer thing.
That's Monsieur Mala.
Okay, that guy.
But from Doom Patrol. But even then, Monsieur Mala always has the belt of ammunition and the gun. There's no belt of ammunition. There's no gun. There's no explanation for it. It's just
space
there.
Suit, yeah.
If they'd have gone like with something over the top and like it looks just like a standard white space suit, why didn't they go with some kind of armored, gorilla armor that looks like something space? But of course they didn't. It's bullshit. This whole damn issue was bullshit.
I feel like it was kind of a classic element, but I feel like it wasn't sold in the way it should have been sold. There was plenty of throwback moments like that in the book. I will say I enjoyed some of them. I enjoyed the Fortress of Solitude. I thought that was kind of cool, but weird. But, I mean, it works, in my opinion.
What do you mean, the new Fortress of Solitude in the Bermuda Triangle?
Oh, yeah, dude. I thought that was pretty cool.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding, man.
Oh, my God. Cool. That's the stupidest thing.
Like, I feel like it was one of those, throwbacks to, like, the Silver Age or whatever of Superman when all the, had all the weird, different shit. I feel like,
oh God, it's so fucking stupid. The fact
I'm not saying it's perfect, Larry.
All it reminds me of is when they made the Fortress of Solitude in the fucking rainforest down in Brazil.
You didn't like that either?
The Amazon. I hated that shit.
It didn't last long enough.
I guess this will. This is so. All this reminds me of is that fucking Superman Returns with the like in the middle of the Atlantic.
When Lex made his own island.
Yes, that's exactly what it reminds me of, and I don't like that. I don't like the fact that it reminds me of that bullshit.
That was the first thing I thought of when I saw it.
It doesn't help none that that they're pulling that shit, and then oh my God, it's just so. Superman isn't written correctly. This whole I'm looking for Lois and Jonathan, like Bendis can't write families, so he's exiled them away.
They're gone.
Yeah,
gone with the dad that. In the way that he writes, you wouldn't think that we just recently went through a big storyline with him, which I find that even more odd.
Yeah, it's so poorly done.
I feel like we missed something. I'm not sure what it is.
See, that's the problem with all this bullshit. Like, they used to catch you up with a little bit, or make it new reader friendly. It's the first issue, for the love of God. Make it a little bit more reader friendly. But you bring it in there. Ivan Reyes' art, of course, is great. Can't complain about it at all. I still hate the little extra bands around the wrists. That design.
That still stands out a little bit to me.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's just a form of trying to transition from the other costume over. I don't know.
they shouldn't even bother. They should just made it the classic costume, and that's it. No explanation needed. None of this bullshit. It's just like that's all it's needed. But no, they had to, like going. We gotta. It's that Jim Lee bullshit. Jim Lee. I used to love the dude. I think he fucking sucks now. The dude, all the
Damn.
Chinese collars and bullshit, all the extra lines on the fucking costumes, like that. I'm pretty sure
To make them more distinguished.
no, it's to make it more fucking complicated and takes away the uniqueness of the character and of the costume and the design. And this dumb fuck, like now they put him in charge of DCO, and it's going to turn into fucking Marvel 2.0. It's already fucking started with Brent Bendis, and that's for fucking sure. Fucking artists, you jumping ship from each book. They're oh, here's 3 issues of this artist.
More. Yes. They're all coming over, buddy.
Oh, God. We'll get to that one. We'll get to that one in a bit. But the fact that John Jones is fucking like this right here, I'm going to share this. You've probably already seen this, but since you read the issue, but woke Martian Manhunter, we're going to be a part of the galactic conversation soon, and someone is going to have to lead us there. Someone needs to tell us the entire world they've built here with borders, money, and war. It's garbage. Someone like you who has seen other better planets needs to tell the world we can be much more than we are. We can be a global community. We can be a galactic community. Yeah. Okay, what better worlds? What better worlds, Martian Manhunter? Ran that had who went to war and males became infertile, so they had to basically import Adam Strange to start knocking up their women, especially Alana, his wife.
Not good.
A Thanagar.
Good.
Not good at all. Thanagar, always at war with Rand. They got 2 different types. The cops that fly with the wings, and then they have the bird people. What do you got? Kolu, that's destroyed. You have Tamaran. Oh yeah, they like to enslave people. What great world? Oh yeah, Mars. You dumb bastards! You killed yourselves. Your own incompetence got you killed. Krypton's blown up. Daxam, I guess Daxam would be okay, unless though they're allergic.
We haven't heard anything about Daxam, have we? In the whole Reborn deal.
No,
what about,
I haven't.
Sodom Yad.
I don't know. I haven't seen him around. I have not seen Sodom Yad around. But then, also, it's kind of hard to be a real hero from Daxamite when you could take a standard machine gun and just kill everybody with the lead bullets.
No!
Just kill the entire population. Just lead poisoning. Just go in.
Don't put that idea out there.
Just a bunch of Deathstroke versus Daxamites. Just go in.
No, nobody wants that, Larry. That's a bloodbath.
He has like lead throwing, like ninja stars. Like ninja stars made of lead. He's like whoosh, whoosh, dead. Just like, oh my god.
He would have a Green Lantern ring or the entity or whatever.
Oh, you mean the like the parallax?
Ion. Where the Ion? That's
Ion. Yeah.
Yeah.
He still kick his ass. It's Deathstroke, so they might be a little OP.
You're right.
But with that being the case, like you're looking at Martian Manhunter, a guy who does not read. This does not read like Martian Manhunter would say this. It's like somebody else.
Yeah. I would say the first part of that conversation where he's trying to, sympathize with him a little bit, about how his planet was destroyed, and now we're finding out his planet was destroyed for kind of a similar reason. I felt like that was in place, but then the whole conversation just shifted so quickly to this whole, you need to be more, vocal up front and all this stuff. And it's like, I feel like Superman's already a lot of those elements. So I don't know. It seemed out of place.
Yeah, it's really out of place. This is not in character with Superman himself. And the idea of out of the blue, Martian Manhunter just like, comes up and, it doesn't ease it into it. It's like, you need to take control of the world and guide us into the future and galactic civilization. And that makes me think like 2 aliens, as much as I like Superman, at the end of the day, he's not born of Earth. Yes, he's adopted Earth as his home. But as much good as he's done, he's also done just about as much bad as far as like bringing stuff, here, as much trouble. So
he takes care of it.
well, until the Earth ends up in the Phantom Zone.
Well, easy killer. We didn't get to that part yet. No.
I'm just saying. It's like, but no Superman, no Phantom Zone. There you go. See that right there? No Superman, no Bizarro. No Superman, no Kryptonite. No Superman, no Doomsday. No Superman, no pissed off Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor would just be a prick, but he wouldn't be a super prick.
He wouldn't. Yeah, there wouldn't be anything to irritate him.
Yeah, he'd feel like there's something in life that's missing. Like he'd have like probably a void in his life without Superman around.
I must find someone in tights.
Yeah, he needs that. He needs that thrill. But in that being the case, we're looking at a book about a character that the writer doesn't get. All the efforts and everything put into the character before this writer got here have been thrown away. From all intents and purposes, have been thrown away with the, Superman with a family and always searching for. Like, don't give me that shit. You didn't have to search for him to begin with. You could just built upon that.
You didn't like how he took out, what is it, the Dominators? What are they called? The aliens from the
it was Dominators,
80s.
Their armada. By himself. Yeah. By himself. Like, that's a Dominator armada. That's more of a Justice League thing.
Nope. Superman thing.
Yeah, he does it himself. Like, if he'd been smart about it, it's like, I can't take on the armada and by myself. So what does he do? He uses supervision, sees some like asteroids, and then takes the asteroids and with his super brain calculates them around. There's a sun, so he throws them at the sun, so their trajectory goes around the sun and slingshots them right at the armada, and that's something they couldn't stop. Like that right there, doesn't that sound like that's a Superman thing?
Nope. He
yes,
bashed it up, dude. He bashed it up. That's a Superman thing now.
That's just blunt. That's a Luke Cage thing. Don't give me the.
He wasn't even thinking about it. He was thinking about Lois. He just he's like, oh, here's these eggheads. Let me go ahead and bust them up real quick.
You want to defend Bendis? How dare you?
Me, Superman. You, Lois.
Well, I look at it.
Break stuff.
Oh God, we want to put the new fortress, Portland. Yeah, so people could shit outside the fortress.
That was awesome. That's totally where you're going to put the Fortress of Solitude, right in the heart of Portland. I totally didn't even think of that till he said it. That was a good idea.
Hopefully, Army of Metallos show up and lay waste to Portland.
There's just not enough bases on the West Coast. That's all there is to it.
You got what? The Arrow Cave in Star City.
Arrow Cave, yep. Very
Coast
big
City.
deal.
Oh, well.
Coast City.
Well,
yeah.
Is it still around? This gets so confusing at times.
I don't know.
I know it was
a valid question.
I know Cyborg Superman nuked it one time.
That's how I remember it, but I feel like it's been rebuilt. I don't know.
You had Sub Diego at one time. That was Aquaman. But
where's the Teen Titans Plaza or whatever? Teen Titans.
Well, it depends. Is it
Florida?
It's either.
I always feel like it's in Florida. I don't know why.
It's in Orlando. They put it.
It's in Orlando. That's where it is.
Either San Francisco or Manhattan. Like it's one of the two. I think there's a Titans East and Titans West. I don't know for sure, but yeah, it's so hard to keep track of this stuff. I'm not an expert with it, but I look at this Superman book. It's such a waste of everything that's come before. It feels it's only about like $2 worth. Like I said, like maybe $2 worth of story, and that story ain't that good.
It was all over the place.
It was all.
I felt like it was all over the place.
Bendis does not know how to write Bendis does not know how to write superheroes. I don't want people to like, oh, he did good in Avengers. Go back and read that Avengers stuff. Go back and read when he did the Sentry. Yes. He took
yeah, such a great character. Drugged out Superman. God. Yes.
Yeah, everything that Paul Jenkins did with the Sentry, with the miniseries and the tie-ins, the one-shots, it's like Bendis is like, yeah, okay, and then ignores everything. Bendis
when they took the Sentry off the leash, that's when shit got good, dude.
Yeah, like when they made Ultron a chick, you know.
Oh yeah, see, that's good stuff too, man. That's flipping. That's flipping the script.
Oh, when young Jean Grey outs Iceman as being gay, so they retcon him being gay for the entirety of. Oh, he's been gay the whole time. That's why he can't stay with a woman. Like maybe the fact that he's a prick, he's childish. The fact that maybe that might be the reason. No, because a guy can't stay with a girl. That's because he's gay. How bad writing are you? I'm bad at writing. Oh my god! Like, leave him.
Someone didn't take enough notes.
Well, some some people just can't write to save their lives unless they're crime books. If it's crime, hey, let Bendis have it. Let Bendis have his thing. Just let him do crime books. Go and do Superman. It's going to hurt the shops. That's my biggest complaint. That's going to hurt the shops. And it's Superman. Well, thank Christ, it ain't Batman. Well,
This should be a book that sells to every other customer almost. Yeah,
yes,
I hear you.
It should be. Superman,
this is a flagship book.
It is, and right there, Superman is the biggest. One of the Batman's probably bigger, but that's what's so weird about Batman. It's like I like him, but sometimes I don't get the popularity. I get it, but sometimes I don't get it. If that makes any sense, probably doesn't. But there's no excuse for this, and this is just going to hurt. And price don't help none. Again, $4 a pop compared to the $6. It was at least I felt like I got my money's worth.
I'll just wait for the trade, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
No, seriously, dude. Get it on Amazon, pirate it. Shit, who knows? But I'm looking at this book and. And then at the end of it, because apparently I heard something on Twitter that one of the villains that Bendis is going to introduce is the Nuclear Man from Superman 4 Quest for Peace.
It's about time. And this is something I actually agree with.
I actually like the Nuclear Man. Like Nuclear Man, everybody's
I can't wait to see how he fucking destroys his character.
Must destroy Superman. As stupid as that is.
Still have the same suit. We're going to find out he's been living on the streets for the last 2 decades, and then he's going to be like, shit, I fucking hate Superman. He's going to get up and get back to work.
Or better, they're decommissioning nuclear power plant for one of these clean energy, non-nuclear plants.
He's been living inside one of those things.
Yeah, well, that's what happened to him at the end of
on the coils.
That's what happened to Superman 4 Quest for Peace, where he was thrown in there and the power levels went through the roof. So what happened? So my thing is, sometime down the line, it's like a battle that people forgot, even Superman maybe forgot. He throws Nuclear Man down the cooling tower, which it doesn't work that way. You can't. The cooling tower is where the steam comes out, that ain't the reactor itself. But whatever. But he puts him down there. The energy gets sapped off of him. Metropolis gets a bunch of free extra energy. Years go by. The place is being decommissioned, and they find this withered husk of Nuclear Man.
Bum laying in the corner.
No, not even that. It looks like a mummy, and then the sunlight hits it, and he just gets his powers back, and he's like, "Must destroy Superman." I would love that.
He'll be clutching an old VHS case of the Superman movie this whole time.
Clamshell VHS.
He was holding on to it.
Oh my god! And the 2 guys that bring him back, or the 2 guys that discover him, Golan and Globus. The guys who ran Cannon.
This is good. We're giving this guy free fucking material.
Exactly, but is he gonna fucking use it? Who knows? But the second issue, in that first issue, is the return of, was it Rolgol Czar?
That's I don't know, dude with the weird lip thing and the hair.
He looks like one of He-Man's villains, like one of Skeletor's lackeys. He looks like a Beastman had mange,
I still feel like it's a character I've seen before. I just can't.
It's so generic, dude. I know what you're saying, but it's so generic. It's and that's another Jim Lee design. The Jim Lee had his day. Yeah, every dog has his day, but his time has passed him by. I think
he's not done, dude. He's not done.
That sounds like a threat. That looks like when the Bendis is coming. That's a threat. That wasn't a problem.
Bendis has already come, dude. It's over.
He bukkakeed all over DC.
He's fucking here, dude. He's running 8 books already. There's no end in sight.
Well, in the DC in sight. Marvel 2.0.
Isn't he already right? He's got a Vertigo book also?
I think so. I know he's doing Action Comics 101 or 1001.
Oh yeah, of course that
Yeah.
asshole gets to do that, right?
Yeah, it's not, well,
Oh yeah.
we gotta have Bendis on all Superman books all the time. 'Cause
I
if
want them
Ben,
all to be number ones. Do it.
oh God, that's the Marvel way.
What do you mean you just did a story with the dad? Didn't happen.
See, and that's another thing. Editorial needs to get their fucking shit together. What the fuck? They just done like they'd already done a story with that, but nah, fuck that.
Well,
I want to
I
do
just
one too.
wonder if whenever someone of his caliber, I guess this is the word I want to use, comes into a company, does he really have that much pull in order to tell them, how it's going to be,
Yeah, I honestly
as
think
far as the story goes? I
I
mean,
think so.
wow.
I think there's a little bit of there's a pull on, because we got to think this guy, he has a base of people that will buy anything anything he works on. That right
That's not
there.
me.
Yeah, that's the
You
thing.
got
I'm
me
not
this
either.
time, asshole, not next time.
Yeah, one shot and then that's it. He had one shot and he blew it. And
He's got me about 3 times here in the last month and a half, so.
oh yeah, because he Man of Steel, this, and then what
Yeah, I
else?
was picking up those.
What's the other one? Action 1000.
Well, the tail end of that.
Yeah, tail end.
I got that more. I got that more for all the rest of it. They should have just let one guy do that issue. The one man who's been doing it for the longest.
Jurgens.
Boom.
Should have been Jurgens.
Should just gave it to him. Gave him the tools he needed. I'm sure he could have weaved a pretty good story. It could have just been him with the singular story, and then we could have brought in different artists from throughout Superman's big history, and even guest artists who've never worked on Superman before.
That'd been interesting. I'd actually like to see that.
I feel like that would have worked. I feel like I've seen this format before done with something else, so I might be stealing. But I feel like this would have worked instead of telling, I mean, not saying I disliked all those little stories. I feel like it would have been a good send-off for the guy who's been Superman, for I guess, the long time now.
Well, Jurgens, even though there's big chunks where he wasn't working on Superman, but the dude was with it from like Death of Superman, before Death of Superman.
Has anyone been on Superman longer is the question.
And as much impact. Like, Superman stunk during the New 52. There's no way around it. And then Rebirth.
I wasn't reading, yeah. I wasn't there.
I read the first few issues, and that was about it.
Couldn't handle it.
Daniel Velez in the chat. If Nuclear Man shows up, then Lacey Warfield should make an appearance as well. Yes, Mariel Hemingway. And if you've never seen the movie Star 80, where she plays she plays a Playboy model. Yeah, she Mariel Hemingway in her prime. Hot damn, son. She was playing Dorothy Stratton in Star 80. Just look up Mariel Hemingway. Like it's like Margot Kidder, Mariel Hemingway. Margot Kidder, Mariel Hemingway. Yes, I'm going with Mariel Hemingway because Margot Kidder, Superman 4.
Margot Kidder. There's been times. I know. Okay. Maybe not so much in Superman.
Okay, she was in Playboy prior to that. Prior to the Superman movie, the first one. But yeah, but that right there, like bringing that back. But if I had to I actually gave it a star rating. I give it 1 star because you can't do any lower on Comixology. But I gave Superman 1 star. I don't know about you. What would you give it?
Oh man, I feel like I gave it 2, Larry. I give it 2 because
you're more forgiving.
There were things I did like that probably weren't universally liked, but I say as a whole, I felt like it was all over the place, and I don't know. I feel like it's disregarding a lot of what has kind of brought Superman back to the forefront.
Yeah,
I don't really care too much to see mopey Superman, but I feel like those kind of elements do work. It's good to see in small doses see that Superman is affected by things like this, that he's not just Superman, that there's a human aspect to him, that he does get bothered, he does miss his family. I do understand it. I just don't like how it seems like they just got on the ship with Pop and they left, and there was a total disregard for the whole big storyline that had just happened. You know,
it's poorly done. It's really poorly done.
I feel like in my mind, what really should have happened was Superman should have left with Lois and John and went around the universe.
You know what? That would have been interesting. He's got to like maybe call up Mon-El and have him cover for him.
That's what I'm saying. Then you have another book, you know, where we have,
Supergirl,
you know,
yeah.
the Junior Superman Corps, you know, trying to, you know, keep shit held together.
Steel 1 and 2, Mon-El, Supergirl.
And then this would be a good time to bring Connor back from whatever hole he's in.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Like that right there would have been great. Like Team Superman or whatever, you know.
There's not enough bags for the money. No.
You know what? I'd buy that book. I'd like to have, here you go. John's
the book could rotate, you know, the Superman cast of, you know, backup characters. You know, it wouldn't just have to be everyone all at once. You know, and then you got your other book with Superman doing stuff in space, which is always kind of interesting.
Yeah, that right there, I'd actually like to see that. Kind of like what they did during Wildcats run, when the Wildcats were on Caribum and in the backup Team Wildcats or whatever, were on Earth doing everything. Like that's when you had Mr. Majestic doing this stuff and everything. So like
Superman, I mean Mr. Majestic.
yeah. There you go. Have Mr. Majestic show up. You know, I like Mr. Majestic.
He has been shoehorned into the Superman mythology. Yes.
Yeah, that right there, the Strange New Visitor, which actually looking at the trade paperback right now, well, the spine of it.
The cover for that is actually pretty nice. I will say that. I know one of the covers is a homage to Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, Superman #1 actually, the classic where he's like hovering in the sky, and I love that because he's like Mr. Majestic's in a diner and he's eating. Superman comes in, and is like, "Hey, you're scaring everybody." He's like, "Well, I'm doing things nobody else is doing. I'm, you know, stopping criminals. I'm putting them away." He's like, "Yeah, but you're doing it in a brutal fashion." It's like, okay, Mr. Majestic.
You're scaring all my friends.
Exactly. And then he's like, Superman's like, "Oh yeah, can I get it back?" And he hands over Green Lantern's ring, and he's like, he took it from Kyle Rayner. Like Mr. Majestic took Kyle Rayner's Green Lantern ring.
he doesn't need it. It's okay.
He just jacked it. It's like, I'm sorry, son. You can't have this. This is for grown-ups. But yeah, I can't, man.
Give him a baseball bat. Here you go. You're now a street level hero. Enjoy. You've been
now
demoted.
You're Harley Quinn. Now put some Daisy Dukes on and bend over slowly. You're like, what? No.
Kyle Rayner could become the new gangbuster.
Oh,
there you
God. Go. Oh no, give him the Guardian shield. And just like, here you go, you're the new Guardian. Like, what? No.
I think there's still a present Guardian, if I'm mistaken.
Well, I'm saying is like there's like so many. I think a lot of them are clones. You know, like, well, at one point in time, because it's part of Cadmus and the whole cloning stuff.
Oh yeah, they were cooking those fuckers up, man.
Popping them out in tubes. But I was a Superman team book where, John Henry Irons, you know, is like leading, like basically like playing the Oracle role. And then like coordinating stuff. So it's like one book you get like two or like maybe Supergirl and Natasha Irons going, you know, Steel 2.
Girls Night Out, dude. There you go.
There
man.
You go. Like
Girls of Steel. That's bam.
Like Supergirl punches a Metallo at, you know, Natasha, and she takes that hammer and just like boom hits him and knocks him into space. Like I'm like, that would be great.
See them go to work on Superman's rogue gallery. There's so many.
Exactly.
Superman has a rich cast. There's so many different ways that you can weave these people in. I feel like it would have worked.
You gave me the idea for a revamped version of Conduit. I've always hated that character because he's so
like it, huh?
Lame. But I have this new revamped version of Conduit, like where he's like,
you didn't like that whole storyline?
Fuck no. So like, imagine
I just like the art more than anything else.
My thing is, new Conduit would actually have these like living like tubes that come out of his arms. Think of
Pumping the kryptonite gas.
No. It's like, there would be like a alien metal. So it's like alien. So it's not magic, but like coming out of his arms, and he can control them with his mind to make them wrap around people or like slink across the ground and like slither like snakes and wrap around people. I'm like, how fucking awesome would that be?
He's Omega Red. There you go, man.
Basically, Omega Red. If Omega Red's tendrils, his carbidium tendrils, could actually like leave his arm and like wrap around people, like imagine grab somebody's like leg and then anchor itself.
It's time for Arcade to get an upgrade. That's what that sounds like. Upgrade yes. City.
Well, it's like
Arcade Cop. It's going to be pretty cool.
but with DC, yeah, it's like. But I guess the other news would be, and dude, I love Wonder Woman, but to hear that G. Willow Wilson's writing Wonder Woman.
I don't know anything about the lady other than what you told me yesterday.
Well, dude,
I've never read those books. I mean, I've seen people talk about it. I just don't know for myself.
This stuff, it's like the woman only she has two modes. I'm a woman, I'm Muslim. That's the only mode she has. That's all she can write. You go through her stuff, that's all she has going on.
I feel like as a writer, I feel like I wouldn't want to just be pigeonholed in those two things. I would want to be pigeonholed in I'm a creator. And
yeah.
I have a vast pool to pull from and not just two things, you know?
Yeah. You look at John Byrne. She-Hulk. Uncanny X-Men. Superman.
How many feathers are in that cap? Yes,
Star Trek.
Exactly.
Fucking Star Trek. The dude can do whatever. Forgot Doom Patrol. He also did Spider-Man. So yeah, you got Hulk too. He did Hulk for a short run because there was like editorial conflicts or whatever.
You can't pigeonhole that person.
No, you can't pigeonhole John Byrne. Then you look at Grant Morrison, Doom Patrol, Superman, Batman. Oh hell, upcoming Green Lantern.
Who cares? That guy's overrated. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like,
he's the Boba Fett of comic books. No.
He gets trapped in the Sarlacc pit.
Everyone makes a big deal.
Grant Morrison, where? He falls into But when G. Willow Wilson, you know what? You should at least give like one or two issues of her comics a try. You should
do it. I'll do it. I'm all about giving people a shot.
Don't pay full price though. Whatever you get, don't pay full price. Buy it used.
I'm gonna write him a check. No.
Go to your library or something. They might have stuff there, but
they're probably gonna have them there. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, they might have them there. Like probably that Miss Marvel book. Everybody's like, "Oh, this is such a great book." I said, all right.
Well, this isn't the same Miss Marvel.
No,
right?
no. This is the fangirl Miss Marvel who happens to be Muslim but from New Jersey. She's an Inhuman who basically she's a Super Skrull.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So yeah, so she can do anything.
This is real good.
The character is she could do anything.
So a girl she's Mr. Fantastic or what? What's going on here?
Mr. Fantastic, Stretch, and it's just I hate it. I hate the book. I hate the concept of the character. Why is the fact that she has to be? Oh well, she's Pakistani, but she's from New Jersey. I'm like, how about this? You have the character from Pakistan, then down the line immigrate to the U.S. Show the immigration process. Show like the fact that maybe get sponsored by a superhero team. Like, oh, here is Captain Marvel. Here's Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers is fighting some terrorist cell or whatever in Pakistan, fighting Hydra, and then they get the upper hand for a second, and then here comes this young girl who helps out, and so it turns out to be that whatever her name is. Oh hell, I'm blanking on the name. Who gives a damn?
What is the name?
What is your name, Mason? But yeah, that right there. It's just bringing in like so the fact that maybe a hero sponsors her and her family to get her out of Pakistan. So they got to act. So you see like a fish out of water story. Her being in America for the first time, learning the language, learning to the culture and everything like that. Being a hero, joining up with other heroes her age and stuff like that. That'd be fine. I'd actually like to see that. Is that? No. We get it. We get. I'm.
You sound like you're very disturbed by all this.
I'm frustrated. Because this is the same kind of shit they pulled with that Simon Baz, the Green Lantern, the Middle Eastern Middle East origin Arabic Green Lantern. The fact that I had this idea. It's like, okay, he's in Kahndaq, and there's some Middle Eastern country in the DC universe, and he stands up, to protect his family. He is showing willpower and no fear, and then here comes a Green Lantern ring screeching out of the sky, puts it on his finger, and he's able to put up a force wall to prevent execution firing squad. Like, how fucking awesome would that be? And he's Green Lantern. He's not based out of America. He's based out of the Middle East. He's kind of like a Black Adam 2.0 in a way, kind of what they used to do with Black Adam, where he's like fighting for his people and defending his people. And so, you got somebody like coming in like that would be great, but no, he has to be an American. Like we could, it's like everything's got to be focused on Americans. Like give me something new, motherfuckers. Like what the fuck? They want to have this diversity bullshit, but they can only write Americans. You don't have to have
They want something new, but they don't know how to follow through with that.
Exactly.
Instead of, it's like, make something new. Don't reskin something. Don't try to repackage something that's maybe got years of already being out in the open and known as something else.
Yeah.
I feel like it will be more meaningful for someone if this is something new and it's created from that and not from, oh yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and make this guy someone else, you know?
Simon Baz, the way they write him just reminds me of like a shittier version of
That's the dude with the gun, right?
That's the one with
the dude with the gun in the ski mask.
Yeah,
the pictures of that guy.
Yeah, he looks like
it's like Guy Gardner 2.0, right? No,
warrior, warrior.
Yeah. Growing his fucking arms in the guns. I like that shit. Yeah, with the war paint.
Yeah, I hate it so much.
Yeah. Oh, that was some good stuff. I hear he's a Dark Star now.
Oh,
even better.
That makes sense. Yeah,
even better.
Fucking DC. But yeah, they just made that Simon Baz is like a shittier version of Jon Stewart. You know, like the way they treat him. And it's like
poor Jon Stewart.
Oh man, they fucking.
I like that I guess the new Justice League book that they're working on has got Jon Stewart a little more in the forefront. I like Jon Stewart. I feel like if someone is to be the leader of the Justice League, I know how they rotate these people usually. I would definitely like to see Jon Stewart at the helm.
Same here. I like what he can do, and I like the personality. But sometimes he's written is really bad. That's when they use him at all.
It's kind of like Cyborg. Cyborg is one of these characters that they have issues with as well.
Cyborg is like a de facto Martian Manhunter. So if you have Martian Manhunter, you don't need Cyborg.
You got to come up with a reason to have him.
Like I had this idea for Cyborg if he was like a super spy, like the dude because he could like maybe like make himself look like anybody, and he could go and infiltrate places and hack computers and like that. Would
I don't feel like it's much of a stretch for his technology, you know, for his body to actually send up a hologram to make him look like somebody else. I feel
that's what I'm saying.
That's had to have happened before, right?
Exactly, and the idea of maybe him having like he has to recharge. He's like what they don't really use that much in with Green Lantern with power batteries and everything. The fact that he has mother box technology or whatever, and he's able to use boom tubes, but it uses up energy. And so on his spy mission, he can't do a boom tube to get out of there. So he's got to you know, his power levels are critical. The fact that like his life support systems will keep going, but as far as combat abilities and stealth abilities are going, and so he's like an issue ends like, you know, like I'd say it's a 2 or 3 part story, like a cliffhanger. He's infiltrated this place and like Hive agents or something. He's infiltrated it.
Oh yeah, bring in the Hive agents. There
and then the elevator doors are about to open, cannon and then like an cliffhanger. Yeah, cannon fodder. They're the not Hydra, you know, but. Yeah, it's like there's so much potential with Cyborg, but nobody actually uses him properly. You know, like having team up with, you know, Sarge. That was Sarge Steel. Oh, damn it. You know, King Faraday. That's it, King Faraday. You know, with like spy, like he works at Argus or Checkmate or whatever. Like, I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, actually turn him into like a spy. Like how they try to do that new Nick Fury, the not Sam Jackson Nick Fury.
Where is the real Nick Fury? They need to go ahead and
he's the new Watcher.
Unfuck that situation and bring him back.
He's the new Watcher, so they got him on the moon someplace. Yep.
How long to the moon's gone? The moon's been taken out left and right.
Well, that's Marvel, but DC, if Marvel was DC, the moon would be already destroyed. But you know, there goes the blue area of the moon.
Where are the X-Men going to fight for people's honor? You can't take that away, man.
You have them fight in Atlantis.
We're going down to the fucking gutter to do it. That's what you're telling me.
You're going to go take a swim, take a long walk off a short pier. But, dude, I really think you should just read a couple of her books. I'd say maybe 2, 3 max. See what you think. I'm not a fan of her work. I'm not a fan of her as a person. Have I met her? No. She stinks and I don't like her.
Damn, dude. What do you mean? You mean like an actual odor?
Maybe. I don't know. I was quoting Spider-Man, the first movie.
Oh.
he stinks that I don't like him. Spoken by Jim Norton, from formerly of the Opie and Anthony show. But yeah, it's just that right there. I'm not a fan of that, but I like I said, you don't really have much of an opinion on it. You don't know her work. Maybe when you do, you might have an opinion then. But dude, it's.
I'm gonna go out of my way to find some of this shit, and we'll figure out if Matt hates it or not. We'll
that should be a new
this out.
segment. That should be a new segment. Next hold court after you read Miss Marvel.
Matt hate it?
Does Matt hate it? Miss Marvel, and like, man, dude, that fucking sucked, or dude, it's actually pretty good. Like,
likely the answer will be this wasn't for me. This is not for me.
That's a problem. I ran into that. Like I did the, hey, don't worry, Wilson's gonna be bringing modesty back to Wonder Woman. It's like Wonder Woman in a burqa.
Oh boy!
And this comic artist I met, Heroes Con. It's like, I actually enjoyed the book, and it's like this and that, like talking about that Miss Marvel book, and and the only thing I can think of, it's like, this idea of, with that being the case, like the idea of Wonder Woman showing skin, like, maybe it'll happen, but
Wonder Woman doesn't hide who she is.
She shouldn't. She should never hide. She'd walk around naked but that would take away from her armor.
That wouldn't bother her one bit.
No, it wouldn't, because she's okay with her. She's okay with her skin. She's okay with that.
Or she'd kick the shit out of you.
And she'd probably fight you naked. And put her hair up in a bun and then fight you naked. Give you nothing to grab onto.
Wouldn't matter to her. Yeah.
She greases herself up before she fights you. Like, oh shit. Is this foreplay or is this a fight? You can't tell.
It's making me think of that Tom Hardy movie.
Bronson,
and he's getting all greased up before they come in the cell. He's getting all greased up because he knows they're coming in there and he wants them to not be able to grab a hold of him.
Wonder Woman telling Artemis to grease her ass.
Oh, man.
Oh, dude, I actually probably...
I don't feel like that's going to... I don't know, Larry.
I'd read that book, man. I'd read that
You
book.
would read it, but would it ever be made?
No, it wouldn't be. They'd chicken out. But speaking of something else, kind of off topic, quite off topic, there's some people upset that Twin Peaks didn't get nominated for Emmy.
I saw it. It's kind of out of place.
Well, it's funny. Well, I think because like Donald, because David Lynch did say that Donald Trump has just been when they attack him. It's like, you know what?
It's his
fault. This is why he wins. Yeah, it's so he's basically saying like they're attacking him like childishly. Like everybody that attacks him just like basically makes him stronger, and it's like so maybe that probably hurt him too. But I actually, because I watched, I'm a big fan of Twin Peaks. I love the fact that the first 10 hours of the Twin Peaks: The Return is a fuck you to the fans. It's 10 hours of fuck you. Oh, you want a Dale Cooper back? You get him. But he's a mute, and he's a bumbling idiot, and he's barely functioning for like 10, 11 hours of this show. It's such a fuck you. It's like, you waited 20 years, now you'll wait 10 episodes to get your Dale Cooper back.
Well, I feel like a show can be a fan service, but it doesn't need to give you everything that you want, because that's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, same thing with comics. You need that aspect of give and take.
Yep.
Do your own thing, take your own creative liberties, but you understand you're selling a commercial work, and you do owe people a bit, but don't owe them everything. And that's the way I look at it. There's a lot of people that have like that, where you're doing something like a one-off kind of thing, like a little short stories, novels, boom, there you go. But even then, like if you poison that well, nobody's gonna come back to it.
There are tent poles you have to hit, I feel, with an established property. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
If it's something brand new, then hell yeah, you can go fucking hog wild. But I mean, something like Superman or Batman or something like that, there are things in place that you can't disregard or say, no, I didn't read any Batman before I started writing it, or something like that. I feel like it doesn't work that way.
You don't get to go into it and then plead ignorance, and especially working on something like established. But I quite enjoyed it. as a series. Weird as fuck, but I loved it. I really loved it. So,
and that's all that matters in the end.
Exactly. Like, fuck the Emmys. Like, you know, the same people that give like awards to Big Bang Theory and all that other stupid shit.
That's some stellar TV right there. I hope it lasts forever.
Unfortunately, I have a feeling it will.
I hope they stay in that apartment forever. I hope it never changes.
I hope they die in the apartment and their souls are haunting the set.
It's gonna keep going, Larry.
It's going. That's their hell that they can never leave. It's like the Hotel California. You could check in, but you can't check out. You can never leave. Is that the hotel? Hotel Big Bang Theory.
Hotel Big Bang Theory.
It's a horrible place.
I hear CBS calling already, Larry.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Fucking CBS. Like, same people was like, hey, let's do a Star Trek show. Let's do, like, I still haven't watched that.
I haven't watched it either. I don't know anything about it.
Sweet Jesus.
I don't know anything about it. Up. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. And I think you got to buy an app to watch that also.
Yeah, you got to buy like $6 or $7. It's like $6 or $7 for the app for like per month. I think there's a free trial, but who the fuck knows? I'm not gonna
yeah, free trials. That's definitely what I'm looking for.
I did use a free trial on for YouTube for YouTube Red or Premium.
Oh yeah, dude, I've been a proud YouTube Red member for like the last 5 or 6 months.
Dude, I was like, after that, I was like, oh yeah, the ads and stuff. I was like, other than the ads, there's nothing else.
You can't go back once you get the no ads, dude, man.
I went ahead. I'm already back, and it doesn't bother me.
See? It doesn't bother me. You've gone back.
Oh, going back. I canceled it, man. I'm not gonna give them. I'm a fucking company that they should be paying me to watch their bullshit. You know, for as much content they put, you know, like they just let fucking slip by. Like they'll ban and block some motherfuckers with that, you know, that shithead Logan Paul or whatever. Hey, let's put a dead body up, and they do nothing about it.
Just go ahead and give that guy 5 more channels.
Exactly. Exactly. Other than
creative
Cobra
genius.
Exactly. See, that's what's so fucked up. They knew what they were doing. They let that shit up there so they get more views and more advertisement bullshit. Like they're
sitting in the room and they're like, "Do you want to hit the button?" No, man. Do you want to hit the button?
They were making a lot of money from this shitty video, but we hate it. But damn it, it's like if it bleeds, it leads. Like in that case, very true. It's so fucked up, dude.
I never really quite understood that situation.
Yeah, it's just all about, you know, like who their boy is.
That's just not my deal, though. I'll be honest with you. I knew who he was. I've never watched any of his videos, and that deal was really the only reason I actually. Oh shit!
Your dog's not a Logan Paul fan.
It's someone's mowing the yard and they can see him and they're freaking out. My bad.
It's all good. But yeah, we're about to wrap it up anyway. I final thoughts, I guess. Spider-Man, even though I wish they'd lowered the price, fucking do it like $1.99. Just put a shit ton of ads in it. I'd rather see a shit ton of ads in that and be like $1.99 than $4 an issue. Jesus, you know, like.
I hope they're all $6 an issue, dude. Because I feel like if it doesn't work, then it's not going to ever work again, and they'll figure it out.
Dude, you're fucking psychotic, man.
Burn him with the fire, Larry.
You mean like Paul Walker?
No, Paul Walker. Don't do it. No, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't take us there.
We're already there, man. We're already.
I'm getting in my Skyline and I'm getting out of here. Don't do it.
But dude, I have to say, I hope Dan Jurgens makes back to Superman. If not Dan Jurgens, like, you know, fuck.
I think he's working on a Green Lantern book now. I could be mistaken.
He probably is. But you know what?
So they just give him Sodom Yet. Then he's got kind of a Superman-like character, except he's got an attitude and a edgy haircut.
Dude, yeah.
There you go.
I say this. Hopefully they kick Bendis out. They kick that Wilson out, and then they put fucking Brad Meltzer on. Give Brad Meltzer Superman and Wonder Woman, but then give somebody else Action Comics. You know, give I don't know, somebody. Fucking, you know, I don't know.
Tom King?
I don't know, dude. He's a fucking genius.
Are you sure?
Even though fucking New York Times, he's the fucking genius. It's like
he's a spy master. You got to be careful, dude.
Dude,
he's probably listening to us right now.
Listen to him, motherfucker. I don't care. Like,
he's listening right now.
That bullshit with.
I love your work, dude. Don't come after me.
Yeah, the idea.
I'm a good robot.
You're good. But the fact that like all the
shut up.
Catwoman won't marry Bruce because it'll make him happy. Oh, what the fuck?
Catwoman's a wild spirit, dude.
It's fucking bullshit, dude.
She's too wild, man. She's too wild.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I feel like it works better when they're just meeting up randomly, and then maybe she's stealing something, maybe she's not. You know, I like that wild aspect of the relationship because Batman's got a mission, and that besides the boys, that's the goal.
Yeah, true.
And I feel like Catwoman has never really had a mission other than being Catwoman, and then taking up a cause whenever it meets that criteria. Not to take away from her character. I'm not saying Catwoman is a shitty character. I'm just saying she has been a selfless character,
Yeah,
I got to think, what's the fallout from all this now that Batman took her around and introduced her to everybody, and then she, she's like, I always knew who Superman was, which, come on, whatever. But, yeah, how do you undo that? Are we about to get another mind wipe?
Yo, Zatanna, I need your help. Just like
you know what to do.
You know what to do. You've done it before.
You've done it to me before, damn it. You're going to do it to Catwoman. You're going to put her right back so we can get married.
That's another thing. They probably had hooked up in the past, but Zatanna and Batman, I could see that I could actually see that.
Is there different stories for them where they were linked, I guess? With the animated series, Batman had actually did time at that circus trying to learn, I guess, escape artist type stuff from her father. Is her dad's name, Zatara, something like that?
Yeah, Zatara is Zatanna, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's in, the main universe or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm up in the air about it, but who knows? I just want good comics, dude. Just good comics that don't break the bank. But you're the psycho over here. Like, I don't care if it's $6 for Spider-Man.
Push it. Because
once real good.
Because the only way it's going to fail is whenever it falls, flat on its face. That's the only way this stuff ever changes.
Oh, so you want them to just keep pushing it, and then like sales go lower and lower, and them actually have.
I don't want people to go out of business. Don't.
But you want
not what I want.
But you want Marvel to correct themselves.
That's what at the end of the day, they've got to do it. They got to want to do it. Them as a company, them as individuals or whatever, they're the only ones that's going to change what they're doing.
Dude,
us crying in our sandbox on Twitter is not going to get their attention. I feel like that actually agitates more people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right, man.
There is a primal way to get this done instead of everyone going crazy on each other. And at the end of the day, it falls to these companies. They've got to want to do better. And I feel like there is good in these companies. It's just there's always the bad.
a lot of bad. But yeah, I think that's it.
But I don't know. I don't know what fixes it, Larry. I don't know. I don't
think anybody knows. I'm just
average Joe. I've never written a comic book.
Well, I have, and if you're interested, check my Twitter profile. On the main page, pinned, is how to get latest copy of my first ash can size comic, Neon Trash. Killer Workout.
There you go.
16 pages, black and white, full color cover. $5, which includes the shipping. So, and if you're outside the U.S., that's an extra $1. Just add, so that's $6 for international, $5 for within the United States, and you could be yours. So don't put up with their, the lies and bullshit of the big two.
Just put up with Larry's lies and bullshit. No.
Hey, I don't hide my lies and bullshit. I'm up front with it.
There you go. I'm serving it up. You know what's coming.
Go fucking kneecap me as I'm doing a goddamn advertisement.
Oh, I'm Vince McMahon sitting over here. You're Macho Man.
It was me all along.
I gotta sabotage you a little bit.
Oh, son of a bitch! I've been to the danger zone.
Hey, Macho Man did some good bits whenever he was back on Raw doing that bit. That was, I would say, some of those when he's doing like the commercial for whatever's coming on next on USA. That was always on point. I don't feel like they ever duplicated that after he left.
You know what? You know what Macho Man's final words were, right?
No.
Snap into an oak tree, yeah.
And that's it.
And that's it. Good night, folks. Good day. Good luck. What have you. Until tomorrow night at 10 p.m., doing a 90s themed stream. This is Larry King for Matt Land signing off. Thank you. Good night. Good luck.
See you next time.